So today I'm going to show you why I think Bitcoin is headed down to 47K. Now this goes against the popular opinion right now, which is that this is a massive cup and handle and that we're about to have the greatest altcoin season of all time. Right? That's what everyone is saying, and they're all going to be wrong. I know a lot of people will not like me being bearish. I know a lot of people will hate that I'm calling for a 47K Bitcoin and potentially lower. But at the end of the day, I keep it real on this channel. I tell you the truth. I don't sugarcoat things, and I give you my real, honest opinions. So Bitcoin continues to dump off, and it should come as no surprise as 7 days ago I updated you, reinstated my bearish bias, and it's just 7 days ago that people laughed their asses off, thought it was hilarious, and also called me a comedian. Now the funny thing is, given that these people called me a comedian, is that they're the ones making me laugh now as I sit back and watch them incur massive losses, so much so that these are the same people, right, that called me a comedian, who thought this shit was funny. These are the same people knocking on my door, and they're going to be lucky if they can even, get a chance to be a maid for me right now, because that's the only job and the only thing that they're going to be able to make money with, because they sure as hell can't make money in crypto. So these guys who laughed and called me a comedian, these are the same guys who are going to be lucky if they can get a job as my maid at my fucking house, sweeping the floors, mopping them as well, and then fucking doing the dishes for me. So I'm sorry for these guys. Holy shit, that is sad. And you should have listened to me when I shorted the top in Bitcoin at 69K, when I called a dump right here down to 47K. Oh, and you don't believe me? Oh, and you think I'm lying? Nah. All right, we called the top here and shorted it at 69K. I have a live trading video where I made $35,000 that day. You can watch that. Oh, I shorted the top in Polkadot at $53. Oh, you can watch those videos as well. I shorted Polkadot twice here. Oh, November 4th, I posted live that trade. Oh, shorted Ethereum at 4,800 bucks. Oh, called a dump to 47K in Bitcoin. Oh, and I also called the top in gaming cryptos. And so your life would have been a lot easier if you listened, instead of calling me a comedian here, calling me a comedian there, because look who's laughing now, motherfucker. So get to sweeping my floors, get to fucking washing my doors, and get to sucking my balls, bitch, because you got fucked. Alright, so I'm going to try not to sound too pessimistic, but I have to keep it real with you guys, alright? What we're seeing right now is not really pretty, especially if you're a bull. And 2018, nobody thought, okay, when Bitcoin went to 20,000, everyone said, grab your Bitcoin. Bitcoin's never going below $10,000 again. And guess what? It went 68% below what everyone thought it couldn't go below. Okay? Everyone thought it will never go below 10,000. That shit dropped to 3,000. Today we see something very similar happening. And that is that everyone in the world thinks that Bitcoin cannot go below 30,000. Michael Saylor's invested. His average entry cost is 30,000. There's too much institutional adoption. Inflation is too bad now, right? And I have objections to all those things. Okay, so watch last video if you don't believe it's possible for Bitcoin to even get to 26 or 10K. Okay, a lot of people think 10K is crazy. I don't think it is at all. I think it's a real possibility. Every single cycle, every single time, people tell themselves things are different this time, and every time that ends up being a lie. Okay, 85% drop from the all-time high gets you down to exactly 10,000 points. What did we see in 2018? You saw a drop from 20,000 down to 3,000, 83% drop. So once again, am I saying it's going to drop exactly 85%? As a matter of fact, I think it's unlikely you drop 85%. I think it's unlikely you get to 10,000, but you just have to know that that is still within kind of like the range that Bitcoin can drop. I think you're tracking for a 60 to an 85% drop. I wouldn't think Bitcoin would go lower than 85%, but it is possible. So minimum, I think you get a 62% crash in Bitcoin. So anywhere between 62% and 85%, with 85% being unlikely. So to me, like I said, 10K, 9K-ish is the worst, just because that's what We know from history, once again, so many people argue, say this time's different, institutional adoption is too high. These are false objections. They're simply just not, they're not correct. People only listen to some, what's easiest to listen to, but no one actually takes it a step further and actually breaks these things down. That's why 90% of people suck, and that's why I'm actually good, okay? Because I have a mind of my own. I don't just listen to what I hear. And so, basically, if you don't think 10K is possible, if you don't think 26K is possible, you are wrong. And 26K, I'm going to say you will be proven wrong. You will see 26K. I believe this was the bear wave. This will be a bull wave. 90% of people will get very bullish again. And boom, down lower we go. And it's not out of the ordinary to see a 60% bounce. And that's exactly what that would be. So one of these is it. And that is scenario number 2. Guys, I am going on record to say we will not hit an all-time high anytime soon, and it will be one of these setups. All right, guys, present day, here we are. Bounced right at 26K, and we're now at 29K. Everyone is wondering what is next. But before we can do that, I have to do what I always do, and that's brag for 12 minutes straight about how I'm the best, and I am the greatest, and I am the best predictor in crypto. I'm just kidding. Actually, for the first time ever, I'm not going to spend 12 minutes bragging about how I'm the best. I am maturing. I must have hit my head last night, or something is horribly wrong with me for some reason. I don't want to brag. So, yeah, like I said, please save me, send help. I don't know what's wrong with me right now. But I'm going to just say, one, rest in peace to everybody who doubted me. Rest in peace, of course, not just you, but your portfolio, and, of course, your relationship with your wife who's about to dump your fucking ass after you lost the family savings. All right, let's get into what is next, what is here in front of us now, because, well, time shows us again and again and again and again who's right. Cassius Clay 69, the best predictor in crypto. And so right now we hit 26K, but you heard me in a lot of these clips, and guys, I have so many more clips I can pull out, but guys, this video would be like 30 minutes long if I string together all these clips. So that was just kind of some of them. But you heard me say, look, 26K, I think you'll definitely see. And then, of course, we can go further than that. So we hit it, and I can tell you right now, as someone who shorted 43K and 41K before this big dump came down, and I predicted this huge dump that just came, okay, and as someone who shorted the top at 69K, as well as the top in Ethereum at 4,800, and the top in Polkadot at 54, okay, I can tell you that the lower price goes, the more careful you need to be on the short side, and the more you really need to be patient for the right entries. Okay, you cannot be shorting just anywhere now, because price, a little pump is a lot in percentages, right? So for example, just this little pump right here was not a little pump, that was a 15% pump. Okay, whereas a 15% pump before, for example, let's say we were at 36K. If you got a 15% pump here, holy moly, right? Everyone would be losing their minds about how bullish that would be, right? So a 15% pump now seems like nothing because price is shrinking and it's getting lower. So that means you have to be so much more careful as a short seller. There's a lot more risk shorting than there was up here, right? This is why we love shorting up here. Okay, when we shorted the top here and we made over $106,000 on this short right here last week, go watch that video. Okay, we've locked in over $190,000 in profits on the short side now. Okay, literally watch the videos, check my Twitter. Okay, join the Telegram alerts. I share all these trades in there. Okay, I mean, at this point, okay, it's not really the time to just be getting incredibly aggressive on the short side. And so, you have to be so picky with where you short. Okay, because if you short too early, you're toast. Okay, you will get a little pump. And what seems like a little pump is actually like 10+%. On leverage, you're liquidated. You lost your money. Okay? And the last thing you want to do after making hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, shorting it from up here down to here, is go lose hundreds and hundreds of thousands by shorting it down here. Okay? The best time to short was up here. All right? And it doesn't mean that we can't short down here. We just need to be 10 times more picky with where and how we short. So, I want to show you 2 spots I will be looking to short Bitcoin next, okay? And so the next point I'm looking to short Bitcoin is the resistance level of this falling wedge. Now, you need to understand a falling wedge is a bullish breakout pattern, okay? But until we break out, I refuse to not short resistance. Okay, it's a bear market and bounces do not last. So in a bull market, you long and you buy the dip. Well, in a bear market, you short the bounces. You don't buy the dips in the bear market, okay? Unless you're going for super, super long term and you're okay with buying at 9K and hodling if it drops another 50%. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. I don't care. I'm telling you as a short-term trader, okay, you have to be so picky with your entries. So an example of that would be right here at resistance, okay, with a stop loss above, so that if it breaks out, you're not losing your ass, okay, because that's how fast these pumps can happen so fast. So a pump from here, from 29K back up to 32,800, that's a 15% pump. Okay, that's a lot of money to made on the long side. Whereas you can also see the money that can be made to the downside as well here. So, before it was extremely, extremely favorable to short, okay, because there was less upside in relation to the downside. Well, now it's kind of that risk to reward as a short seller is lessening, okay? Because now look at this. We have, 15% until the next support, but we also have 15% until the next resistance, aka you're kind of in the middle of the range. And trading in the middle of everything is very hard to do. You want to trade at the ends of the range, right? So when we shorted at the top at 40K, that was the top of the range. Okay, now shorting down here is not nearly as good as shorting up here, you see? And that's what a lot of people don't realize. So now that people realize it's a bear market, now they want to short it. You dumb fucks, it's kind of late, okay? Now, it's not completely late. Yes, money can still be made on the short side, but the time to make money for real on the short side was when we just did, and we just made over $190,000 on the short side. The biggest move is over to the downside. Like I said, can we get down to 10K? Yes, we can, but at the same time, you have to realize this was right here a 10,000 point move. A 10,000 point move from here gets you down to 20K. So yeah, we can still move 10,000 points down, but we can also very easily move 10,000 points up. Okay, now actually I take that back. Okay, I don't think you're going to move 10,000 points up here. It is possible. But at the end of the day, I'm just trying to prove to you, you got to be so picky as a short seller, because I know so many idiots out there who didn't believe me that we were going to drop. Now those dumb fucks are going to start shorting, and they're going to get wrecked, because by the time you idiots start shorting, it's a time to probably long, okay? Now anyways, that doesn't mean I'm not going to short. I'm just telling you, when I short, I'm going to be picky as hell. So for example, this resistance is where I want to short, and this is a moving target, okay? This resistance is a moving target. Stop loss above in case we break out, because if we can get past this level, right, let's say, this level holds, boom, you can make a lot of money shorting right here. But if it breaks out higher, which I do believe there's actually a very decent chance we can break out higher to 32,500, 32,800 next, okay, which obviously I wouldn't want to happen if I'm shorting here, but I know like there's a very good chance of that, right? So I'm going to short here, understanding that the chance of getting up here is a real one, right? So I'm not going to deny that possibility. And so that's why I have my stop loss in place to protect me, where if we do break out, I'm losing 1.5%. If we don't, boom, we're dropping 15+%, okay? So the reason there's actually a solid chance here is, one, you have this, this wedge, as well as this key support here at 28,700, which was the bottom of the 2021 dump down to 30K. Okay, we respected this level 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, and now 4 times at this level. Okay, it's a pretty solid level. Now, the thing is, we will break through this level, I do believe, with time here, this 28K level. I'm 95% confident we will go lower here. This is not the bottom, but it doesn't mean we can't get a short-term bounce here. Okay, this is a major support after a massive sell-off. It's not out of the ordinary to get big bounces. Just like over here, if you recall from the previous clip, I said we can probably get a 60% bounce before continuing lower. What do we get? A 50% bounce before continuing lower, right? So in bear markets, it doesn't take a lot of movement to the upside for it to be a big percentage move to the upside. That's why buying in a bear market is a very profitable thing for short-term trades, as well as for the long term if you can hodl and sit through another 50% dump from here maybe, all right? Now, let's break this down further. Like I said, if we can break out, I'm looking for a push up to 32 32.5. Okay, because we've had no relief so far the whole way down from where me and my members shorted right here at 43,000. We made $50,000 on that short. We shorted right here last week and we made $106,000 on that short. I shorted 2 days ago and I made $22,000 on that short. Guys, I can only short this thing so many damn times and make money so many damn times. Okay, at some point the market's gotta bounce, and it will. Okay, so bounces are a part of the game. It doesn't mean you're not overall heading lower. And so that's why when we bounced here, I literally said in those clips, as you saw, we're probably going to get everyone bullish again before we dump off again, right? So, you cannot be surprised when bounces come. It's inevitable. The key is knowing when to short those bounces, and I'm telling you, the areas to short these bounces right now that I'm looking at is, once again, this moving target here of resistance, which is the resistance of that this bullish wedge. But also, if we can break out past that, all right, I'm looking to then short at 32.8, 32.5. All right, does that make sense? So you can actually kind of see we can be coiling up the energy for a bullish breakout here. Why? Because we have this green level of support, which once again is now the 4th time we're getting support here. So we can actually coil the energy to actually break out here, which makes sense. Okay, you get bounces in bear markets. Get fucking used to it without all of a sudden thinking you're going to the moon. Okay, so my plan is I want to be looking to short here at 29,600. Once again, a moving target, and I want to limit my risk because I know the threat of upside is massive. If we can break past this resistance level, we can pump easily another 14%, and I'm not about to lose that much money. All right, so you dumb fucks who are going to try to short here, and if it breaks out and say, oh, I lost my ass on this advice, you are stupid, and I hate you. So go fuck yourself, all right? No one likes you. Maybe that was a little rude. I don't care, dude. You guys are so stupid. You deserve all the rudeness coming at you. All right. So I'm looking to short here. All right. And it can pay off massively. But if not, if we can break past this resistance and we can obviously stay above this support, right? You can see, I think I want to be bullish up to like 32.5, 32.8 in that case. Okay. So, you're looking at this right now. And let me tell you, honestly, you probably don't have the skills or the instinct or the experience to know which we're going to pull off in real time. That's why you got to join the Crash Alerts Telegram. It's the first link down below because I alert you live in real time exactly what I'm doing. So when I short, I'll tell you when I'm short. And if I close out my short and switch long, I will tell you that. Okay? Because here at Crash Trading, we go both ways. We do not discriminate. Whatever is going to make us money, we'll play that direction. And I know that a lot of money can be made on a bounce up to 32.8. So I am preparing for that. But also, acknowledging, yes, we can easily get a pump here and make a shitload of money on the long side. I know that risk to reward, this short right here, is a solid setup. Okay? So this right here, you could say it's a 50-50, but here's the thing. The risk to reward is not a 50-50. The risk to reward is 9.8 to 1. And that's why 50-50s are fine whenever you have massive, upside, massive rewards to gain and very little to lose, okay? And that's why, objectively, this is a great level to be looking to short. But I'm really not going to be surprised if we could break that level. But personally, yes, I am still going to be looking to short here, okay? And obviously, this will all be done in real time in my alerts channel, so please join. It's the first link down below there, okay? So if I get lucky, boom, we dump back down again. If I don't get lucky, all right, hopefully I'm making the switch and switching bullish here. So many people will say, oh, you're contradictory. Wah, wah, wah. No, it's called being right. Okay, so if I short it and then I think, you know what, this shit's not going to drop, then I'm going to switch long probably in for a breakout. Okay, it's not contradictory. It's called being fucking right and making money no matter which way the market goes, because instead of being a stubborn piece of shit, you don't have to be right every time. Thankfully, I have a great history of being right a lot of the time. So honestly, I'm not even going to predict what's going to happen in this short-term moment. Because like I said, I think it's a 50-50 right here. Okay, so I'm not making a prediction on this moment, but I am going to short it with a stop loss because there's so much to gain if this resistance holds. All right. So this right here is not a prediction. What I will predict, though, is if we do get up to 32.8, 32.5, that resistance will hold. That much I am very confident of. Okay, so right here, I'm not predicting it. I'm just trading it. Okay, knowing that it's like a 50-50. But here, okay, if we get up to 32.8, 32.5, this is no longer a 50-50, guys. This is like a 80-20 in favor of shorts. Okay, this is 50-50, but with a lot to gain on that 50% chance to win. Here, it's not a 50-50, it's an 80-20 with a lot to gain as well. So I love this short a lot more than I do like this short. Okay, but once again, both of them can pay massively, and both of them you can limit your risk pretty well. Okay, so these are the two areas I'm looking to short. Once again, I'll be alerting these in real time in my alerts. So, you know, you're a jackass who's going to say if it breaks out, wah, 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 oh, I got wrecked. Put a fucking stop loss, you dumb piece of shit. You guys, some of you are so stupid. I feel really, really bad for you. Okay, and that's exactly why. You know, you didn't want to listen to the crash, and now that it crashes, you're going to short the lows like a dumb piece of shit that you are. All right? So that's what I'm looking for right now. These are the two levels. 29.4, once again, a moving target, and this right here, 32.8. I'm looking at this level as well for shorting. Okay, if we can stay above 28,800, if the stock market looks pretty bullish, okay, and they're not selling into the pumps and into the bounces, which you can see we pumped here at the end of the day, and they kind of sold into it, but they didn't dump this pump. So, you know, it's very hard to tell if the stock market can get a good bounce here. But if the stock market looks pretty bullish, and if VIX can actually break below 30, oh my God, yes, I am going long on Bitcoin if VIX can break below 30, okay? So if VIX breaks below 30, stock market is not selling off, that would lead me, right? These are the key factors and clues I'm looking at during intraday market hours to realize, all right, if I'm short here and I see no VIX is breaking below 30, stock market's not selling, okay, then I want to switch bullish, right? There's so many factors and things you need to be doing in real time and reading these charts live to make the best decision possible. But the most important thing always is limiting your risk and maximizing your return, okay? So those are the two levels I'm looking at for right now. If I had to tell you longer term, I don't think 26K is the bottom, okay? I don't think it's the bottom. I think we're far ahead of schedule, and things are happening at an incredible rate, and I don't think anything's over yet. I think we have minimum, another 30 days before you could even possibly hit a bottom, which I don't think you're going to hit a bottom in 30 days, but let me tell you the only reason I think you could bottom in 30 days. The only reason you could bottom, guys. I'm not saying that we are going to bottom in 30 days, but obviously I'm going to keep you up to date because, you know, like I said, we could. But look at this. So when this dump kind of began, all right, this has been 7 days, right, since we started really breaking down. All right, let's go back to 2018 crash when we really made the breakdown, okay? You go back to 2018, once we started really making the breakdown, it took us 30 days to bottom. All right, check this out. Right, so here we started really breaking down. So right here, boom, really breaking down. It took us 33 days until we hit the bottom. Okay, so that's the only factor I see right now. Okay, is based on a 2018 dump. You bottomed 34 days after it began. So that's the only reason why I could say maybe within 27, 30 days you would bottom. But that is literally like the only reason I can come up with. Besides that, every other reason and every other thing points to more downside. So that's kind of my update. So check in 30 days from now. I'll keep you up to date. But as of now, that's what I'm looking at. So my two levels to short and why I think, you know, 26K was not the bottom, but it could take a little before we actually go and take out that low. Okay, so you can't be surprised if we come up to, you know, 32.5 and then break down there later. The key is to just trade it. Okay, trade it. Stop losses, limit your risk, maximize your return. That's how we made over $190,000 in the last 3 weeks. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Join the Crash Alerts Telegram if you haven't already, guys, because I will update you live if I'm longing or shorting the market. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this video, drop a like. Make sure you are subscribed. That's my update on Bitcoin for you. And, guys, I hope we were able to save a lot of people from this mega dump. It's no fun losing 50% of your net worth or your savings. It really sucks, especially in altcoins. They're down like 80%. It's the worst. So I hope we saved a lot of people. And to all the people, like I said, who doubted me, that's on you. You know what I mean? You suck. I mean, you had the chance. I told you like 50 million times, and you were just dumb that you didn't listen, and you pay the price for it. So maybe moving forward, you'll realize I shouldn't bet against that Cassius Clay guy. He's right 80% of the time. So that guy's the best. Last thing before we end off this video, guys, if you're not following me on Twitter, you should. A bunch of good tweets and things there, like this right here. Bitcoin price gains support. We're going to rip to 52K next. On-chain analytics shows the bottom. Mega dump through support coming soon. That was last week. I called that, you know, on top of my YouTube analysis, right? So it's a fun place to be. Twitter, you should be there if you're not. Look at this, April 21st, the last bounce for Bitcoin. April 21st, I time-stamped that shit. April 21st, 42,960, top of the up moves. 30K next. What do? We drop right down to 30K next. Guys, if you're not following me on there, you are missing out. Crashes Clay 69. If you're not in the Telegram alerts where we just made over $190,000 in just the last 3 weeks, you are missing out. Watch the live trading videos on the channel so you kind of know how that works maybe, or just fucking join right now. First link down below. Don't miss out on the next big trade. Okay, there's money to be made in the bear market. Okay, people are losing money in the bear market. You can make money during the bear market and then reinvest those profits for the bull market when it's time. All right, guys, we're on top of it. You'll be on top of it if you're a crash trader. I'll see you on the next one.